who got his hands on a gun and killed a civilian food service worker with whom he was having a relationship with. After he shot and killed her, he turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. The shooter was able to get the gun by having a civilian on the outside fly a drone over the prison with the gun attached to it and drop it in the prison yard where he would collect it.
Oh my God. Waiting on that drop like, oh my God.
It's the 8th most populous state in the United States and has the 4th highest prison population. The state of Georgia houses...
Bro, these motherfuckers is walking around like they in the hood.
With 25,000 of those prisoners being
phone,
violent offenders. There are also 9,600 inmates currently serving life in prison and over 40 inmates currently on death row awaiting to be executed.
What up, Mula gang? This is the most dangerous and deadly prison in all America. We finna watch this together. So them Greg.
Understand.
Oh my God.
This is not a joke.
He got a sword. What is that?
That's what I'm saying. At any given time, it'll get real back here.
And he got a stick. Bro, the stick got a metal little screw on it. So when you hit it, nigga, he drop.
I run on BLOODS. That's what I move. I'll keep going and it's that game. He Peru.
Hold up, man. What we got going on in the jack, man? You gotta say that shit
Hold on, is that a sword fight? This is scary.
Georgia is the 8th most populous state in the United States and has the 4th highest prison population.
What the?
The state of Georgia.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me read back here. Am I watching what I think I'm watching right now,
Georgia
folks?
is the 8th most populous state in the United States and has the 4th highest prison population. The state of Georgia houses...
Bro, these motherfuckers is walking around like they in the hood. They walking around the jail like the prison, like they in the hood. No shirts on, pants sagging, with big ass swords and sticks. They walking around 50 deep. Everybody posted at they cell. They walking around recording. This a damn music video. Do your homework on the music video. Gang.
There's over
I never seen nothing like this, bro.
Facilities
with
across
ski mask on, which is probably just a big ass sock. And bro,
with 25,000 of those prisoners
he on the
being
phone,
violent offenders. There are also 9,600 inmates currently serving life in prison and over 40 inmates currently on death row awaiting to be executed.
Hold on, y'all, because y'all know I love putting y'all on to that easy money. CashKick.com is a free to use cash rewards marketplace that helps you save and grow your money. This is some of the simplest and easiest ways to make money right now. All you have to do is play mobile games on your phone and you can earn up to $500 per deal. Now remember, I said CashKick.com is free to use, so they will never ever ask you to send them any type of money. Signing up is super easy. All you need is an email and a password. Once you sign up, all you have to do is download your first offer and start making money. Now your offers and reward amounts can change at any time. So that means you can download a game on your phone, play it for long enough, make $500 on one day, and the next day you can download a whole nother game, play it for long enough, make $300. Next day, same thing. This is some of the easiest money I can tell you about right now. And again, you can earn up to $500 per deal. So this is what I need you to do. Go to CashKick.com, make you an account, activate your account. Make sure you turn on allow tracking on your phone so that the app can actually track how much you're playing the game and earn you some of the easiest money you can make. Y'all can't say I ain't never did nothing for you.
Since the year 2022, there has been a total of 113 murders inside Georgia prisons, with 44 already this year. This includes one of the deaths involving an inmate in June of this year.
And they just walk. They shooting a video. But this is a real prison. They just walked through the cell block and came up to a damn cart that they finna make into a drum, and they finna rap. Where is the popo at?
FBI, open up!
Where is that at?
who got his hands on a gun and killed a civilian food service worker with whom he was having a relationship with. After he shot and killed her, he turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. The shooter was able to get the gun by having a civilian on the outside fly a drone over the prison with the gun attached to it and drop it in the prison yard where he would collect it.
Oh my God. Waiting on that drop like. Oh my God. They put a gun on a drone and dropped it in the prison yard. How slow do you gotta be? Y'all that week on some man. That's just embarrassing, bro. Bruh. That's just embarrassing. Like, I done started the video over.
He had been in prison for 9 years on a manslaughter charge, with his earliest release date being 2043.
Damn.
This murder would be the second death of a prison staff member in Georgia in less than a year, with the last death involving a prison guard being stabbed to death from behind with a homemade knife.
Damn.
The Georgia prison guard
job.
Homemade?
A jailmade? They ain't at home? I mean, they is at home, I guess, technically, right? Do your homework on what is home to you.
Has a high number of job vacancies due to its low pay,
crazy, man.
With its starting salary at $40,000, which is the equivalent of making $19 an hour. In 2012, there were 6,000.
That's a starting salary $27,000. The fuck is he talking about?
500 prison staff employees, but in 10 years that number dropped 60%, well below to 2,500 guards in 2022. Due to the low pay and not having enough manpower to handle the large number of inmates, prisoners will bribe guards to smuggle in drugs, phones, food, and design.
Look at him. Look at him. He in jail with a rollie on, a belt, a custom t-shirt, some skinny jeans, and some Air Force Ones in a prison cell. Y'all ain't doing no searches in this motherfucker?
Designer clothing. Inmates would pay guards amounts from $1,500 and more for every delivery they made to them.
Where are you getting money? How are you making money in prison? Don't get me wrong, I do know, like, you know what I'm saying, you could work a job, you could sell stuff to people, they could put it on your, send it to somebody, whoever, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, but damn, I'm talking about they got a whole kit over here. They got phones, high seas. What the cutting boards?
Amounts from $1,500 and more for every delivery they made to them. Since 2018, there has been a total of 360 prison staff members fired for being involved in smuggling contraband, sexual assault, and extortion. In 2019, a correctional officer was caught trying to smuggle in 8 cell phones and 2.6 pounds of meth to an inmate, for which she was going to receive $10,000, but she was caught and would eventually be sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. Prison guards would even go above and beyond when an officer was on an inmate's payroll. The inmate paid the officer to kill another female officer who decided to stop moving drugs for him. The inmate would later attempt to send another hit on another officer, but the hitman ended up killing the wrong person. Now the inmate is...
What are we talking about right now? Are y'all watching the same video I'm watching? Please tell me you reacting how I'm reacting. Let's start there. Do your homework on reacting in a reaction.
Currently on trial awaiting the death penalty. Even a prison warden was caught drug smuggling, and it was found that the warden was getting paid well above $44,000 from various inmates to help smuggle in drugs and other illegal items. In 2023, prison officials would shake down and search inmate cells, and that year they would find a total of 6,300 cell phones, 1,432 pills, 242 pounds of cocaine, 300 pounds of marijuana, 769 pounds of meth, fentanyl, and heroin, which investigators would calculate the street value to be a total of $4,320,000.
Bro, this is just in prison. This is in prison. And it's like, money is the same way in there. Like, it's crazy to think about, but like, if somebody in prison and he doing a 10-year bit and he just want to do something, he just want to make it a little, if it's just a little bit easier on him to do his 10 years, he gonna do some, he might snort some, he might pop some, he might smoke some, cause he trying to, so now he got his grandma or that girl he been flirting with, you know what I'm saying, or his brother or his cousin or his daddy, they might give him $75 a month, right? Nothing. But $75 a month can get him 3-4 pills. You know what I'm saying? If that person got pills, it's like, damn, okay, you could set up a whole business, a whole trap, a whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole little you did going on up in there.
$1,000 worth of contraband seized. The year before, an inmate with access to a cell phone scammed the Charles Schwab Bank out of $11 million, and he would eventually be caught. After he was released from prison, he was arrested by federal authorities and would eventually be sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. The Georgia Department of Corrections would document a total of 15,000 gang members, with the most well-known gangs being 4,700 Bloods, 3,900 Gangster Disciples, and 1,400 Crips. In October of 2024, the federal government Department of Justice would launch a full investigation into the horrific conditions and corruption in the Georgia prison system. Due to the lack of prison staff in 2021, there were a total of 702 sexual abuse acts against inmates in Georgia.
702?
There were a total of 702 sexual abuse acts against inmates in Georgia, with most of these victims being a part of the LGBT community.
Look at this shit.
Gangs that run housing units often target LGBT inmates
in there, bro,
with physical violence.
What is going on,
to force
bro?
Them out.
I'm talking about straight just bitching them.
Of the gang's housing unit.
Pouring up Fanta and with ice in
2022, 24-year-old openly gay and transgender inmate Tristan McKee, who had a history of mental illness and suicidal ideations, was placed in a gang housing unit that was very hostile against LGBT inmates.
Right.
He was attacked and beaten by Bloods and Gangster Disciples.
Damn.
And while he tried to run and escape, he was stabbed 12 times, including being stabbed in his eye. And prison guards would respond 45 minutes later. Hours later, he was pronounced dead. The day before his death, he told prison guards that he needed help leaving his housing unit because he felt that his life was in danger, but the guards ignored him.
Of course they did, bro.
At the time of his death, Tristan only had 1 more year in prison left until he was eligible to come home. Rapes and tortures are very frequent in Georgia prisons. For example, in August of 2020, an inmate passed a note to an officer stating that the inmate in the cell next to him kept screaming for help. So when the officer opened the cell next door, the officer found an inmate who had been held and tortured for almost 4 days.
Damn!
He had been injured in his eye and he suffered a traumatic brain injury. He was airlifted to an outside hospital where he would later survive. Another incident in that same month involved an inmate who dug a hole in the wall into another man's cell, where the inmate would slide his way into the other man's cell, beat him, and rape him. A female officer would find the victim hidden under his bed with his head bleeding. He was hospitalized for head trauma requiring 26 staples and was treated for rib fractures and fractures to his fingers. An even worse story is when in 2022, 18-year-old inmate Jacob Daniels was attacked by 3 individuals who broke his wrist and his feet and stuffed fillings from inside a cut-up mattress in his mouth, stabbed him in the throat with an ink pen, and cut his wrists with glass from a broken light bulb.
Bro, what is we talking about right now? This is fucked up. This is up, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
The attacker.
This is why I say, gang, like, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you break the law, should you be punished somehow, some way? Yes. But if I stole a TV, or if you caught me trapping, let's just say you caught me selling some. Don't send me in here with these crazy ass kidnappers and killers and 17-time. Don't send me in there with these crazy ass niggas, man. Send me somewhere with the calm people, folks. You feel? I get locked up for some loud for a blunt that I ain't even lit yet. I get locked up, y'all put me in the same jail with the nigga that got 4 bodies. Oh yeah, he got caught for a quadruple murder. What you mean he got caught? Why we in the same dorm? This not right, man. This is bogus. It don't even sound like they did nothing. They just.
Brock and James Collins were charged with malice murder, aggravated assault, and false imprisonment. Weird. But also prison guards have been known to.
And they not even weird. They just institutionalized, bro. Like they done been drove crazy enough.
Secretly work with gangs in prison and being on their payroll, and sometimes play a part in the role of an inmate's death. For example, in September of 2022 at Phillips State Prison, 3 Blood gang members, including one of them, 19-year-old Malik McBride, planned to run into a rival.
Swords. He got swords, bro. How do you hide that? You can't hide it.
Crip member's cell to kill him. The Bloods told the prison guard that was on duty at the time their plans, and the guard agreed, so the prison guard unlocked the Crip gang member's prison cell and walked away.
That's crazy, bro.
Shortly after, the three Bloods ran into the Crip cell, but with the Crip gang member being smart and already on point, he was prepared for an attack.
Right.
The first Blood to enter the cell was Malik McBride, and the attack didn't last long because as soon as they went in, the Crip stabbed Malik in the head and with a fatal stab wound to the heart.
Yep, I'm ready. Bop! Bop!
The other two Bloods ran back to their cells and locked their doors, and Malik attempted to run back to his, but he collapsed before he could make it.
They ass tweaking and geeking. No! The more you fuck around, the more you find out. You understand what I'm saying to you, ho? He was just defending himself. But I ain't gonna lie, prison is fucked up, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, gang, do not let these rappers and these people on Instagram hype your head up and make you think this shit cool. Well, none of that, folks. I'm telling you right now, jail ain't cool, prison ain't cool. I done probably total in my life, I done probably spent maybe 40, 50 some hours in jail. And I'm going to let you know something, gang. I did not have to do 5 years in that motherfucker to tell you that that is fucked up. And I do not want to go back.
After this incident, the Crip was not charged with Malik's death because he admitted it was self-defense.
Yeah, it was.
But one of the Blood members was charged with felony murder for his involvement in initiating the attack.
So he got felony murder because he put together an attack on the Crip. The Crip defended and killed the first dude, right? So the person who died, who came in there to attack him, now it's a murder. So the person who actually defended himself, he ain't getting charged with nothing. But the person who put together the attack with the dude that died, he getting charged with the murder now.
When word was spread throughout the Georgia prisons of Malik's death from a rival Crip member, it started a gang war in 3 separate prisons in the state of Georgia.
Start going down now.
On October 1st, 2022 at Coffee State Prison, a war broke out between Bloods and Crips, and 2 inmates were taken to the hospital. On October the 2nd at Maycomb State Prison, a war caused 13 inmates to be taken to the hospital. And on October 3rd at Ware State Prison, 5 inmates were sent to the hospital. In the end, a total of 2 gang members were killed and 20 gang members were hospitalized. The prison guard that opened the original Crips cell door was placed under investigation for the incident because he failed to cooperate. He was eventually fired. In the end, a prison facility is no place for any man, and it is a blessing to come home from it. It is crucial to never take your freedom for granted because not everyone sentenced to prison makes it home.
No late night vibe, you know. Late night vibe, we playing PS5. Yeah, man. No,
how did they get a PS5, a flat screen, a Roku, Wi-Fi, the games, and a holder for all of it in a prison cell? And they say my first time play, I ain't gonna lie, Georgia crazy too. I be saying that shit about Atlanta, about LA, but Atlanta just as crazy, gang. They ass crazy up there, boy. Chicago niggas, they just sliding and gliding, blicking up everybody. LA and Atlanta, boy, they hacking red light cameras, they got helicopters, they got drones, they ain't playing.